Chapter 4. The Isosceles Group. The Isosceles Group. At the top of the pyramid are wealthy individuals, megacorporations, and major investors. They occupy a small portion of the population, forming what I approximate as an isosceles triangle. It's important to note that their prominence stems not only from their wealth but also from their roles in making goods and services accessible to the masses. Though they may not directly produce these essentials, they facilitate their availability through entrepreneurial ventures. Notable companies in this group include Apple Inc., Saudi Aramco, Microsoft Corporation, Amazon.com Inc., Alphabet Inc., Google, Meta Platforms Inc., formerly Facebook, Tencent Holdings Limited, Tesla Inc., Alibaba Group Holding Limited, as well as financial powerhouses like Vanguard, BlackRock, and Berkshire Hathaway Inc. Retail giants such as Walmart and Costco also belong to this category. Prominent investors in this group include Warren Buffett, known as the Oracle of Omaha, chairman and CEO of Berkshire Hathaway; George Soros, founder of Soros Fund; Carl Icahn, a renowned activist investor with significant influence in companies such as TUI, Texaco, and Netflix; Ray Dalio, founder of Bridgewater Associates; Peter Lynch, a legendary investor and manager of the Magellan Fund at Fidelity Investments; Benjamin Graham, revered as the father of value investing. His principles continue to shape modern financial strategies; John Bogle, revolutionized the investment industry with the creation of the first index fund and the founding of Vanguard Group. Me, I am an employee who arrives at work on time from Monday to Friday. I diligently complete my tasks, maintaining a strong work ethic and fostering positive relationships with my colleagues. I strive to leave a lasting impression on my peers and superiors during meetings while balancing my professional and personal life. Compared to the influential figures in the Isosceles Group, my name holds little weight. This simply means I have yet to reach their level. The Isosceles Group possesses a unique advantage. These individuals and corporations have the connections and resources to establish businesses that cater to my needs as well as those of the base group. They identify mass-market demand and transform them into accessible products and services. This is a good thing because I don't have to plant vegetables on a farm to get groceries, or make a salad, grow wheat to bake bread, or build a toaster to make toast. These things are all available in stores, thanks to the efforts of members of this group. I don't need to fell a tree for wood, make nails, or dig for limestone to produce cement and concrete for a house. Again, this group connects the dots and makes these things accessible to me at the store. I had never considered it deeply, but these companies are like the magical elves of adulthood and the unseen architects of modern convenience, reducing chaos and simplifying our lives. They streamline the sourcing, production, packaging, marketing, distribution, and even the recycling of my waste. They are the logistical masterminds that make the modern world possible. This group includes the owners and executives of major hypermarket retailers such as Walmart, Target, and Home Depot, along with e-commerce giants like Alibaba, Amazon, and eBay. These establishments provide everything from food and cookware to clothing, furniture, and medicine, with vast inventories. My research revealed that direct production or cultivation is not necessary to enter this category. Joining this group requires the ability to source both human and material resources, coordinate production or procurement, and efficiently deliver goods and services to consumers. Most importantly, it requires the idea that sets everything in motion. The Isosceles Group comprises visionary strategists and organizers of goods and services. They excel at building enterprises from the ground up through comprehensive analysis and planning. And all this makes it possible for us to sit like a couch potato and just click a button to get what we want or need. They turn your convenience into their business. People like Jeff Bezos are obsessed with customer satisfaction. Fast food, fast impact. Another subgroup within the Isosceles Group that has mastered the art of putting it all together includes fast food chain owners like McDonald's, Starbucks, and other popular franchises. which have become go-to destinations for fast food or quick meals. Millions of consumers, including my coworkers and bosses, visit these eateries each year, contributing to billions of dollars in annual sales. McDonald's serves approximately 25 million customers daily, Starbucks draws another 100 million visitors, and Chick-fil-A hosts about 12 million visitors per week. The major shareholders, investors, and owners of these establishments form a small, upper segment of the population pyramid, catering to the demand for fast, tasty, and convenient food. Just like everyone else, when I feel lazy to cook or tired of the same old meals, I frequent these fast food chains. Every time, it feels like they throw a wild party for my taste buds, inviting my whole mouth to this heavenly goodness, leaving me addicted and helpless, coming back again and again. I just can't resist the wow factor each time I visit. I believe you'd feel the same. I often wonder what makes their food so irresistible. Honestly, I have no idea. In any case, that's why they make the big bucks every year. But if you go back to the kitchen, you won't find the CEO flipping burgers. The assembly line would be all members of the base group. The isosceles group is great at putting human resources together to get a final product, and that is the genius they possess. Real estate and the roof over our heads. Grocery and fast food aren't the only offerings from the isosceles group. They are also involved in residential and commercial housing. This includes real estate companies and the owners and developers of the massive structures I visit during trips, as well as my small apartment. My research highlighted notable names like Keller Williams Realty, R.E. Max, and Coldwell Banker, which provide office spaces, buildings, and homes for rent or purchase. Temporary housing and rentals are managed by companies such as Greystar Real Estate Partners and Alliance Residential Company, which oversee vast numbers of residential units across multiple countries. These giants are everywhere. I was just waking up to how widespread and far-reaching this group is, from my tiny apartment to locations overseas. I believe this group spans the earth and may even stretch to other, yet unknown, planets. Banks, the backbone of financial stability. What about the small sum of money I had left after spending my entire salary on necessities? Yes, you're right. The isosceles group was there to help me keep those leftovers in their banks. And once again, the banks are owned by the isosceles group. While the banking industry may not be a basic necessity, it is essential to managing my meager salary. Banks work hand in hand with insurance companies, helping to keep other aspects of my life running smoothly. Both industries are integral parts of the isosceles group. Commercial banks such as J.P. Morgan Chase, Bank of America, and Wells Fargo play a crucial role in the economy, providing essential services like deposits, loans, and regulatory compliance. The owners and CEOs of these banks, along with their families and major stakeholders, make up another vital slice of the pyramid in this service provider category. Insurance companies, risk protection. In my view, insurance companies are similar to banks. They take your money in the form of a premium or deposit, but you can't withdraw it until you have a definite pressing need for it, as outlined in their policies. These policies are typically something you're required to sign, or else you have no choice but to comply. Nevertheless, they play a vital role by offering coverage and protection against various risks. My research showed that this group of companies covers just about everything you can think of: home, fire, motor, property, travel, tickets, and more. In fact, just name it, and they'll find a way to cover it. There's also life insurance, and I believe one day they might even insure the unborn and the afterlife. All they want is that premium from my small savings to bolster their financial power. Industry giants like State Farm Group and Berkshire Hathaway, along with global players like Ping and Insurance and Allianz, provide reassurance and financial security to individuals and businesses. At times, I think they deliberately sell fear in exchange for premiums. Don't get me wrong, things do happen, and accidents are real, but the force, vigor, and ads promoted by this group are intense. In my humble opinion, this segment of the population pyramid holds great significance and should not be underestimated but revered. Why? Because a significant portion of today's necessities, as I figured out, is interwoven with insurance companies, whose influence extends far and wide. These companies generate substantial revenues and possess considerable market capitalization due to the essential services they provide and the multitude of policies contracted each year. Automotive giants. Finally, the automotive industry has replaced the horse and buggy with gas-powered engines, as well as electric, wave, and hydrogen-powered vehicles. They cannot be ignored or overlooked, given their significant impact, both as a direct result of suburbanization and in terms of the immense revenue generated by members of this group. The fierce competition among manufacturers to produce the highest number of vehicles and achieve the most sales each year further strengthens their position within the isosceles group in the pyramid. I would be remiss if I didn't mention the auto industry in this segment. The description above offers a glimpse into the prosperous isosceles group of the pyramid. Although it is not an exhaustive representation of my research, it is worth sharing. The common thread among the individuals and companies in this group is their ability to offer a wide range of products and services that are essential to my daily life. Ultimately, it all boils down to the needs and desires of society, and to the individuals who have the capability to fulfill them through production, logistics, and the efforts they make to bring goods and services to the marketplace. Pyramid flow dynamics and dependency. So, how does it all work and fit together? What's the mechanism of the pyramid? From my simple analysis, it turns out that the pyramid is a self-sustaining ecosystem. It operates in unison, with each layer fully understanding its role and function. The layers act as modular parts of a machine, communicating like interconnected pods while remaining unified with the resources necessary to run. As it turns out, the base group represents a significant market opportunity, with its large population encompassing low-income earners, the middle class, and high-income earners. The necessities I needed to keep going, along with my current job, were elements of trade, and the isosceles group recognized both my needs and those of the base group, fulfilling them effectively. Members of the isosceles group maintain a symbiotic relationship with the base group, much like a well-oiled machine or pulley system. The upper echelons of the group provide essential goods, employment, and services to the base, while the base reciprocates by working as employees and contributing monetary resources to the isosceles group. The trapezium group collaborates closely with the isosceles group to ensure seamless operations. They manage the entire system, if you will. This interconnected mechanism has functioned smoothly for many years, ensuring a mutually beneficial exchange. This relationship extends to every segment of the pyramid, forming numerous smaller pyramids within each segment. In these subpyramids, the upper levels provide goods and services to the base, while the base contributes to the wealth empire of those at the top. This cycle continues, extending even to the broader pyramid structure. For some reason, I believe there is a delicate balance between the workings of each segment. Any imbalance can cause chaos, and countries that try to manipulate the system often experience infighting, rebellion, or severe poverty. The system feels almost natural and fair. The pyramid is a living organism, functioning as one with different interdependent parts, and they rely on each other. I conducted an experiment to illustrate the mechanism in my mind. Here's a quick example of how this well-oiled machine in the major pyramid functions. I took a photo of the label on a bottle of ground turmeric, a food spice I picked up from my local store. Product category: food spices, herbs, and flavorings. Price: less than $10 at my local Walmart, which is typically affordable for the base group based on the price model. It's affordable to me without much struggle at the point of purchase. The seller: Walmart, a member of the esteemed isosceles group. The distributor or manufacturer: McCormick & Co., Inc. Position in the pyramid: McCormick is a Fortune 500 company, making it a member of the isosceles group. Employees: 14,000 employees worldwide, the majority of whom are members of the base group. The average salary ranges from approximately $41,091 per year for a warehouse technician to $162,000 per year for a vice president, according to Indeed.com. The lower range employees are from the base pyramid group, while the upper range employees may come from the trapezium or the upper part of the base group. Executives, CEO, or President. Lawrence E. Curzius, Chairman, President, and CEO, hired through an acquisition and falling under the trapezium group. Lawrence was the CEO at the time of writing. Revenue: US $6.317 billion, fiscal year ended November 30, 2021. Profit: US $0.755 billion, fiscal year ended November 30, 2021. Note, the intention here is not to conclude that all the wealth came from just one product, in this case, ground turmeric, nor am I implying that the money was made from a single store. This is simply an experiment to see how the data fits into my pyramid and to better understand its structure. I noticed that even a basic product like turmeric is manufactured and sold by members of the isosceles group at an affordable price that the base group can easily purchase. In turn, the base group works for the isosceles group and buys their products. Thus, employment, products, and some services flow from the top of the pyramid to the bottom, while small contributions, such as product sales from a large population base, flows back to the top, building a wealth empire. Furthermore, the exchange of products for money and labor for a salary is a fair trade. I make this kind of exchange year-round as I visit these stores. Another way I completed the exercise was by saving all my receipts for the year and repeating the test to determine how much I had contributed to the growth of the isosceles group members in exchange for necessities. It became clear that I made contributions across all categories of necessities: rent, transportation, communication, entertainment, clothing, and so forth. It would be interesting if you tried the receipt experiments for your designer clothes to see how much you've contributed to Bernard Arnault, François-Henri Pinault, the Wertheimer family, and other famous fashion brand owners. The truth is, this is not a conspiracy, and there's no need to get bitter or refuse to buy their products. If not them, it would be other companies in the isosceles group anyway. In every developed country, these large companies have already taken the initiative, and soon even underdeveloped nations will be untapped markets for them to enter. What I realized would make me happier is to allocate capital to McCormick or other S&P 500 companies in this category rather than judging them. We all live in the same society. At the time of my research, McCormick stock was $86.38 according to Yahoo Finance, compared to $10.99 in June 2001, a decade ago. Following the Capitalist Code by Ben Stein, I should buy stocks from different companies and hold them until retirement, using the stocks as liquid equity. I also found that compounding a small number yields a small number in today's fast-paced, inflation-driven society, so this is not financial advice. But I believe, as suggested by Ben, investing in what I enjoy over a long period will yield better results than not investing or worrying about the economy. If I follow Ben's formula, I would own small pieces of many companies by the time I retire, which seems like a solid strategy considering I am just beginning to understand the true world I find myself in. My concerns and reservation. After completing this exercise and understanding how the groups in the pyramid interact and operate in a simplified sense, I do have some concerns and reservations. The base group, often referred to as the common man and woman, and my group, is an integral part of every generation, serving as the foundation of society. They navigate life to survive, and while there will always be a high class or the isosceles group, the base group remains a constant in every society, nation, and generation. Concerns about manipulation. My concern lies in the potential manipulation of the other groups by the top group, which possesses significant financial resources and the ability to influence governments through lobbyists, markets, policies, and organizations, or simply through greed. Without proper oversight, the top group could become too dominant and powerful, while many members of the base group may remain unaware of the underlying dynamics due to their busy lives or feelings of helplessness. Additionally, I worry that if the base group diminishes too rapidly, it could significantly disrupt the delicate equilibrium, leading to chaos and instability within the entire system. Acknowledging the contributions of the isosceles. Despite these concerns, I tip my imaginary hat to the isosceles group and applaud them accordingly. This group has solved many problems and made my life easier by providing basic needs in the marketplace for my convenience. One crucial lesson I've learned from this group is the importance of offering essential products or services that the masses simply cannot function without. The sales of these necessities often happen seamlessly, as the isosceles group has a deep understanding of its customers. They offer these indispensable products at competitive prices and use special holiday promotions and discounts to attract and retain their customer base. However, I still have reservations about the extent of power wielded by the isosceles group. I sincerely hope they heed the wise words of Nikita Khrushchev and avoid exploiting the base group too much. Greed is man-made, and so, when you are profiting from your customers, it's wise to leave some room for growth so that you can continue to benefit from them in the future. Nikita Khrushchev. Concerns about consolidation. I have another concern regarding the isosceles group. They should avoid forming a collective entity and instead operate as distinct individuals and companies. Mergers and acquisitions worry me. If they were to unite, they could amass greater power, exert influence over policies through lobbyists, gain control over more resources, and stifle competition. This could potentially lead to easier and more frequent manipulation of prices for goods and services. Another related concern is the government helping companies in the trapezium and isosceles group stay ahead, granting them new power that could stifle competition and extend their dominance nationally and globally. However, if they remain separate entities and governments stay out of their competitions and does not over-leverage any one company, then the impacts of these companies on the market will depend on the merits of their products, services, and business endeavors. Another question I have is whether the base group can come together to change the fate of the other groups. The picket line has long been used to fight for wage increases and better benefits against the upper groups. Typically, some concessions are gained, such as wage and salary increases or more benefits, but in my opinion, these are nothing compared to what the trapezium and isosceles groups enjoy for generations to come. My fear is that if the base group decides to unite and refuse to buy another iPhone, visit Walmart, or use any services of the isosceles group, even for just a day, chaos could ensue. Hope for balance and fairness. Despite these fears, I hold on to hope. The dynamics of the pyramid are complex, but with awareness and cooperation, a more equitable system is possible. By fostering mutual respect and support among all tiers, society can achieve greater stability and long-term sustainability. It is a delicate dance, but one worth participating in. The alternative is chaos and instability, a risk too great to ignore. Through collective action, responsible leadership, and innovative solutions, we can work toward a future where each group thrives without undermining one another.